Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back. Today we are gonna keep it pretty cash and I'm gonna get ready with you because I do have my first beauty event of 2019 to go to later tonight, and this means I gotta look presentable. I have to leave my house. I have to take these sweatpants off, gotta do my makeup. So I thought that I would get ready with you guys, show you how I go from A to Z. And then I'm also gonna be doing something a little bit fun today. I'm gonna be sharing, it's a new segment I like to call Things I Learned This Week. And I'm really hoping you guys like it. If you do, I'll continue to do more of them when I have fun stuff to talk about or good stuff. But I also have a bunch of new products to try out, so I will show you those as we go along as well. So let's quit the chit chat or this intro. Another thing I've really learned, this is the first thing I'm gonna share with you, I'm really bad at intros. Sometimes I wish I could just be like, hey guys, let's do makeup. The first product that I have to try out today, I'm so excited about this because the other night I was laying in bed and I was Googling best moisturizers for, excuse me, I still have such a raspy voice from my cold. I believe I Googled best moisturizers for clogged pores, so AKA oily skin, breakouts, you know, and I came across this one from Belif. It's called the True Cream Aquabomb, and this isn't my first time hearing about it. I've actually seen it pop up in other videos from people saying they really love it and from other websites. So when I saw it again this time, I was like, hey, I gotta try that. Next time I'm out, I'm gonna go take a look at that. And then I went to my stash, my skincare stash, and I realized I had it. Oh, it's blue. It's a refreshing gel cream that provides weightless yet prolonged hydration. I believe I read that this is oil-free, but I can tell you right off the bat, it does feel pretty lightweight. I also have a new primer to try out. I'm not one that's big on primers, mostly because I don't really notice a huge difference in my makeup when I wear them. I have in the past, like a few times, there'll be times where I'm like, oh dang, my makeup looks really good. Is that because of the primer that I used with it? So I haven't completely given up on them, but on an everyday basis, I just don't wear them. But I do have this new one from Ren. It's called the Perfect Canvas. And what caught my attention about this is that it's silicone free. I really like this packaging actually. It's very sleek. And usually with a lot of these primers, they do have silicone, and they always say, or people always say, that silicone is what causes clogged pores. That absorbed really quickly. It's very nice because it doesn't have that really slippery feeling that a lot of the silicone primers do have. Okay, let's keep it moving here. I also have some new foundation to try out. This is the Kiss Pro Touch Liquid Foundation. So one thing about this that I'm kind of not loving already right off the bat is that there's only 8 different shades to choose from. But before I turned on the camera, I went through them. I found 2 that I think are going to be a pretty good match for me. So I thought that I would try them out in this video. Let's give them a whirl. One is a little bit darker, and I believe that's the one that I'm using right now. This is called Natural Beige. And let me just, like, at first go, you think, hey, that matches me pretty well. But I think once I give it a few seconds to dry down, the color did get darker, which is very common with foundation. So I think I'm gonna mix in the shade, there's a bunch of names here. I'm using the Natural Beige and Warm Nude. That's what you need to know. Jumping into the first thing that I learned about myself last week. I've shared it before, but it's something that I almost feel like I have to say out loud, so I stick to making a change. And after reviewing the new Fenty concealer in my last video, which by the way, if you've not checked that out, go check it out. But in that video, while I was editing it, I started off with so much foundation. I just realized that I need to say, enough is enough, don't apply so much foundation. And then I had to like ask myself, why is it that you're applying so much foundation? And that is because I have so many freckles on my cheek. And it's not because I don't like them. A lot of people say, you know, in videos where I'm like, oh, I gotta cover them up a little, people assume that I don't like them. And that's not the case at all. It's just that they throw everything off. My makeup is just not balanced because I feel like I have to make everything pretty even, because if I do more coverage here, this doesn't have that much coverage and then it's very noticeable. So The nicer way of putting it would be I have freckles. The realistic way that I think of it is I have pigmentation on my cheeks that I just gotta live with them. I do like a flawless face, and I don't want to rule out that I'm not gonna do that. But I would just like to try and stop just covering it up all the time. Might I just say, this foundation is looking pretty good. Now you see I'm still seeing more freckles peek through, but that's where I'm gonna go in with concealer instead. That's what I've decided, and even my skin out with concealer rather than just caking on the foundation. And by the way, if I had to choose just one of the shades to apply all over, like if I wasn't interested in mixing, I would probably choose the natural beige, because I think that one all over would be a better match for me. I think the warm nude would be a smidge too light. You know what I just realized is that Kiss sent these to me, but they also sent a bunch of concealers that I've never tried. So I'm gonna go find those so I can do an all over Kiss face. Okay, I found a shade. I am gonna try out the warm nude, and this is called the Pro Touch Dark Under Eye Concealer. So you got the sponge applicator tip. Okay, I'm gonna try not to apply too much. I'm gonna use the sponge. Not bad. These freckles that I have, or pigmentation or spots, whatever you want to call them. So I was wondering if any of you guys have tried, like if you have them too, if you've tried anything to fade them or get rid of them, because that's something I've started to think about. And the first thing that came to my mind was laser. So yeah, I'd be very interested to hear if any of you guys have tried something like that and if it helped to fade your spots. This is looking really good. I can still see a little bit of darkness, but you know what? That's natural. Sometimes I just want to go crazy and cover it up and look like, you know, a magazine article, but this is real life. I'm gonna give it a spritz with my Urban Decay all-nighter just to make sure we are locked in place. Now that my brows are on, I'm gonna go ahead and apply a little bit of bronzer to the, you know what parts of the face I'm gonna apply bronzer to. Excuse me as I wow, that was really annoying. Wow, and that went on really blotchy. See, this is another reason why I will usually layer on my foundation a little bit stronger, and that's because I like, oh dang, because you see as soon as powders hit the face, especially when I'm at the bronzer point, you see them popping through so much more. It looks so blotchy and uneven, and it drives me crazy. But I guess today is the day that we are pushing through, and we're just gonna embrace it. Anywho, let's move on to the next thing that I learned this week, and that is that I am not a bad painter. So I moved back to sitting in front of a white wall just for the time being, because switching around this makeup room, I have some ideas, so hopefully we can get it all set up and you'll see what it's gonna look like in a few weeks. But for now, I am here in front of the white wall, which I painted last week, and it's because for the last however many videos, sometimes it just shows a little bit too green, a little bit too blue, so I painted it white. I went to Benjamin Moore and I asked for the whitest, most accurate white that I can get, and I think it's pretty good. Now, mind you, I do have something lighting everything up so it looks incredibly white, but when you walk into this space now, it's like, holy, it's really white and I love it. I wish that I could do this throughout my whole entire place, but I know that would probably look really cold, but I'm kind of into it. Anyways, Andy and I painted the wall about a week ago, and it turned out pretty well. I did majority of the rolling, Andy did the trim, kind of like the really tedious work Andy got stuck with. But then we looked at it afterwards and it was kind of patchy in certain areas. Like I could see maybe where I rolled, and you know, I'm over here like, dang, I'm kind of beating myself up. I could see it being a little bit streaky. I told my mom about it because my mom is, to me, a master painter. She's done so many of our old rooms and lots of the rooms in our old house, or where they live now. And so I was like, Mom, it's streaky. She said she's gonna come over, she's gonna help me fix it. She came over, she did a really, really good job. She got rid of all the streaks that I probably did, but then we were left over with some other like there's like a little bit of patchiness on the wall, which I realized was probably there before I even started painting, so it wasn't my fault. And I realized I'm a better painter than I thought, and that kind of excited me because you know, I was a little bit nervous about painting a room, only because I knew it was going to be white, and I knew it's like painting white on your nails. Sometimes it's just super streaky, patchy, but it went okay, and it kind of made me want to paint the rest of my house, I'm not gonna lie. I'm just gonna apply a little bit of blush to my cheeks. I'm using the Galifornia from Benefit. And I think I'm gonna be wearing like a green jacket tonight, so I'm thinking I'm gonna do brown on the lips. So for this, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Foxy Brown lip liner. I love a brown lip, and I did read in an article for the trends, the beauty trends for 2019, and it still says that a brown lip liner or brown lip is gonna be in, and I love that. I'm gonna do a little Peachstock lipstick from MAC in the center. And now the gloss bomb. I pulled this product out the other day. It's from Charlotte Tilbury, and it's called the Eyes to Mesmerize, and the color is in Star Gold. It's like a cream base. It's bronzy. It's like a bronzy gold. Moving on to the next thing I learned this week, and that is I like podcasts, you guys. I don't know where I've been, but I know they've been pretty popular for the last however long, but I've never gotten into them. I think it's just because I didn't know who to listen to. There had been a few that I had tried out previously, like a few months ago, but I wasn't really thinking like throughout the day to like, hey, yeah, I should turn on that podcast. But now I've really been enjoying them. They keep me company when I'm cleaning the house, or actually I've turned a few on while I'm in the shower just to listen to while I'm getting ready. But the ones that I've gotten into so far, like there's none that I'm super dedicated to as of yet. I think that will change, but there's been a few that kind of changed me to thinking that I might just be a podcast girl. And that was, I know Andy laughed when I said Goop, because he's like, that's a funny one to start off with. For anybody that's unfamiliar with what a podcast is, there's a podcast app on your phone. The way it works is, say for example, I'm looking at Dak Shepard. I can't believe I'm showing you the Dak Shepard podcast, but you go to his available episodes and there's tons. So he's a person that likes to do podcasts with celebrities. And so if you're kind of just jumping into podcasts and you don't really know where to start, that might be cool, because you might see a name like Seth Rogen. You want to hear what Seth Rogen is talking about. You'll click on that episode.
Clearly would have
They're like an hour into their conversation, and people talk about anything and everything, I've learned with these podcasts. And the one that stuck out to me from the Goop website, the first one I listened to was Gwyneth Paltrow talking to Julia Roberts. That was fun. Then I listened to Sarah Jessica Parker's. I fell in love with this one because she really starts to talk about how she fell in love with shoes, where it all came from, like talking about her childhood. And then the next one that really got me, and I was like, oh, I love this, was the one where she talked with Oprah Winfrey. Hello, you guys already know Oprah Winfrey. Anything that Oprah does or says, we all want to know, right? So that one was really fun for me to listen to, and it also made me want to listen to Oprah's podcast. I haven't done that one yet. That'll be my next one. I'm going to take this little trio. This is called #goals, and I'm just going to take this light one and dust that over what I have. So Oprah, something that stuck out to me was when she said, this is actually so sad, I believe it was she interviewed somebody years ago, and it was the mother of a son who had passed away. Like moments before he took his last breath, he said, he turned to his mom. Don't quote me, but this is pretty accurate from what I remember. He said to her, Mom, it was all so simple. Life is so simple. And it's so true. Like, we all get so carried away with so many things, but when you actually just think about it, life is so simple. And I know that the older I get, I'm kind of having a harder time dealing with stress, and things weigh on me so much different than they did however many years ago. But then I do have to remind myself many times a week, like, you have it good. You wake up, you get to do what you want to do. Everybody deals with problems. That's a normal fact of life. But another thing that she mentioned to Gwyneth was that she tries to be on the moment. She explains how the reason she can kind of keep her sanity is if she's out in her garden, she's like, I try to just be out in my garden. If I'm looking at these vegetables or like a tomato, again, don't quote me, but you guys get the idea. She's like, I'm just taking that tomato or the trees or all that. Like, and it just kind of makes you think, I need to be more present in my life. A lot of the times too, we go and we do whatever we're doing. So say if I'm going to relate this back to myself. If it's me and Andy, we're out on our dates, which don't happen all that often anymore because life gets busy. But the other day we went out for a coffee date, and it had been so long since we did this. You guys know if you watch my vlogs. Before Andy and I got married, we were out every single weekend, every day off, having coffee dates at a new coffee shop all over Vancouver. So much fun. But we don't do that anymore, or no, that's not true. We don't do it as often anymore because life gets busy, and now there's like, oh my God, I gotta do laundry. We gotta go grocery shopping. But last weekend when we were out, part of me, you know, we were both really guilty of this, of being on our phones for a second there looking at Instagram. And we were like, no. Social media, man, it's kind of like the devil. I don't know if any of you guys feel like that, but sometimes it can take away from that moment, what you guys are doing, and then we just realize, no, we're gonna put that away. And then we had the best time. It was so beautiful, it was sunny. We shared a ridiculously overpriced avocado toast. We had cappuccinos, and we just enjoyed being out together on a Sunday afternoon. And that's what I think that we need to focus more on, is just being in the moment and focusing on what is going on right now. I know for me, I stress a lot about the future. I think about next week. I think about, oh, how am I going to fit that next appointment in next week? But I'm not actually worried about what's going on right now and just focusing on my day. So Oprah's pretty amazing. I really like Oprah. I wish I could actually just be her friend. If you are looking for a good podcast to just kind of warm up to listening to a podcast, check out the Goop podcast. It's Gwyneth Paltrow. She's talking to Oprah Winfrey. It's the bomb. And maybe next time that I do one of these, I'll tell you if I've listened to any more. I definitely want to check out Oprah's. And if there's any others that you listen to that I can probably already guarantee you I've never heard of them because I'm still new to them, leave me a comment and let me know because I'd love to explore more. By the way, I just took this color right here and I added it to the center of my lid. And now I just think I need a little something. I might even just use a bronzer. I hope this is fun for you and I'm not just rambling. I can sense how I'm talking right now, and it's a lot of stop and go, but that's me. I think that is it for the makeup. Let me just set it one more time. The other day, I know a lot of you guys saw what my hair looked like on Instagram, on stories, because Andy filmed me walking into like a building. And so it's from the back, and everybody messaged me like, Trina, oh my gosh, your hair is so long. And I'm like, I know, it is ridiculously long. And I just have to kind of come up with what I want to do. So I definitely know I need a haircut. And I don't know if I want to go like here or like here for a haircut. It's been a few years since I've had really short hair, but I know I did enjoy it when my hair was short and curly. I just used a little bit of the Way texturizing hairspray. And now I'm going to do a little bit of a back comb. I flipped my part. We are not doing center part anymore. This is how I wanted to go today instead. Spritz my hair with a little bit of hairspray. I pulled up my vlog camera to give you guys a full whammy, show you my outfit now. So I just threw on a white tee, tucked it into my black jeans, put on a black belt, and then over top I have my green oversized coat that I have from Zara. This is the one that I included in my winter fashion haul that I'm obsessed with. I just love the oversized look of it. It's super comfortable. And then I also threw on these. Oh, I love them. How badass are those boots? They're from Zara. I think that they are so perfect for dressing up any outfit. Oh, and I also get so many questions about this necklace. It's from Forever 21. It's a super inexpensive but very cute detail to my outfits lately. And that is it. That is the video, you guys. I don't think I'm going to take you along to the event because it'll probably just be me eating show you guys a few new products that I showed you guys the products today. So I really hope you guys liked this video. If you did, give it a thumbs up. Please let me know if you like this style of video, if you want to see more, and then I will definitely do one. I had a lot of fun today. It was probably all over the place, but I kind of liked it. I definitely want to continue doing more. So be sure to subscribe to my channel if you're new, and I will see you next Friday in next week's video. Bye.